Hey, what's up guys? This is Dr. Hamra, oral maxillofacial surgeon and facial cosmetic surgeon, Washington, D.C. Jake Paul, this is his jaw. He broke it in 2 places. This is a left parasymphysis fracture, which is right here, and a right body fracture of the mandible. As you can see, these white dots here, those depict the teeth roots, and the fracture goes typically through the teeth roots, which means he also will lose those teeth. What does that mean? Well, after the fracture heals, usually about 8 weeks, he might have to be wired shut. He's going to get mini plates and screws to bring the bones together. He will then have to have dental implants. This is typically done roughly about 3 months after the fracture heals and the teeth socket heal, and another 3 months until he gets actually the crowns onto the implant. So this could take 6 to 7 months, and it will take about 9 months for him to regain 90% of his jaw strength back.
You were supposed to stop punching me when I hugged your leg, remember? I was gonna Venmo you. You were supposed to stop. I can't.
Ow, son!
I had him wobbled, and I was like, fuck, but he kept his hands up better this fight. I won 2 rounds, for sure. And then
he had zero intention of engaging with Joshua. Now, you could understand that because Joshua is a former 2-time world champion, heavyweight. He's a big guy, he's got the power, he's got all the advantages over Jake Paul, who incidentally is not a boxer, never will be a boxer, has zero boxing IQ. But against Jake Paul, Joshua would have been expected to dispose of his opponent within the first couple of rounds. He didn't, and there was a reason for that. When you're a fighter, and the experienced one, going in against a guy who has self-preservation at the very top of his agenda, it's so difficult to pin him down. He runs, he dodges, he grabs, he slithers to the floor, he grips onto your legs, all the kind of stuff that you would never see from anybody with a semblance of experience in boxing. So let's get this out of the way. Jake Paul's a fraud in terms of boxing. But worse than that, after all his hype about what he was going to do to Joshua, what did we see? We saw a cowardly display from a guy who shouldn't be anywhere near a boxing ring from now on. In fact, if there hadn't been ropes around that ring, then he would have been back in the changing room in the first couple of minutes of the contest, because he was running for his life. He was terrified.
Can I say an ugly truth? That was the kind of performance where only somebody that looks like Jake Paul can get away with that, or get away with it with at least criticism as possible. Can you imagine anybody else that looks like anything other than Jake Paul doing what he did? It would be on the news. Yes, it would. What I'm trying to say is, with a performance like that, that's a performance where he should never show his face or show up in boxing again, or talking anything serious about boxing. We all know that. If anybody got up there and sat and literally ran all those rounds, there would be memes to no end. They would talk about him like a dog. Okay? Like a dog. Nobody, and I mean nobody, could have got away with that type of performance without the least amount of criticism that we see right now. That is a fact. That's why Jake Paul is in boxing. That's what Jake Paul sees. That's what Jake Paul is capitalizing on. And you know what? You guys are so bad, I can't be mad. That's a fact. I can't be mad. There's no way with a performance like that anybody should talk about seeing Jake Paul fight again, period. You know that, and I know that. You guys throw professional boxers away for less. For less. I just want y'all to take a good look at that running session that he put on in there. But you know what? It'll be damn near ignored, just like Conor McGregor in the Nate Diaz fight. You remember when Conor was talking about Floyd Mayweather and running? Oh, white American loves that type of conversation. Yeah, running. Yeah, he got in that Nate Diaz fight, turned around fully. Now, I ain't never seen nobody run like this in professional sports. Still to this day, nobody has ran like Conor McGregor in professional sports. This dude literally turned his back and started to run. Literally. But yet, who they still talking about running? But I thought y'all was against running. Y'all hated that. Did you hear any backlash? Did you hear anything? No. And that's the same amount of criticism that y'all give Shakur Stevenson and all of that stuff. That's the same amount of criticism that's supposed to be here. If y'all wanted us to take Jake Paul seriously, he got to get the same criticism that everybody else gets. But truthfully, with a performance like that, we shouldn't see him in boxing no more. You know that, and I know that. And I'm going to tell you the other thing. The boxing world don't want to admit it, but the boxing world is embarrassed. Yeah, the boxing world is embarrassed. And I'm going to tell you why. Because America is embarrassed. Yeah, they are. See, they know what we do here on our end, but you have to understand, we really are not looked at as Americans, which is crazy. But Jake Paul represents everything. That's why he came out with the Hulk Hogan and I am the real American. And being that y'all have this British American rivalry, the image of Jake Paul wrapped around Anthony Joshua's leg from a British standpoint must be classic. Instead of making a statue of Tyson Fury knocking out Deontay Wilder, can I make a suggestion to y'all over there? Y'all need to make a statue with Jake Paul wrapped around Anthony Joshua's leg. Yeah, like a 70s exploitation poster or something. Yeah. That's what y'all need to do. He represented America perfectly, if you ask me. All theatrics, no real skill, clown shit, embarrassment, weak. Yeah, the only thing they ever gave America as far as balls was the black American boxers in this country. We all know that. That's why in the end, I kind of like this more than I thought I would. Because of the politics of the whole fucking thing. Y'all can't deny that y'all wasn't embarrassed by this. Come on. And only in America would you try to clown Anthony Joshua for what Jake Paul did. Only in America. But no, man, this was interesting, man. But people can get mad all they want and say, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be in there. What y'all gotta understand is by this time, Jake has already taken the game. So how did he take the game with this low amount of skill set, doing this cowardly stuff and all this running? It's too late to try to be a social justice warrior when it comes to boxing. It's too late. He's already taken the game. Now y'all trying to act like, oh, this is bullshit. Oh, we're putting up with these fake fights. The fake fights is what got him here. And this was partially a fake fight. Anthony Joshua definitely held back. But y'all can't act like y'all in an uproar now. Like y'all can finally see how garbage this is now. No, y'all had to get embarrassed first. But I guess it's all great for the good of boxing because it boosted AJ's popularity here. And America is weird like that. We'll boost you up for the weirdest shit. So in the end, it worked well for AJ. Both times that he came in and saved the boxing world, it worked great for AJ. So yeah, that works. But we'll talk more about it. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, I'm out.